I really want to quit school. Like, I really do. And like, it's not that I hate school. It's not like I have a whole lot of terrible things to say about the school specifically. It's just that like I myself feel weak and powerless, at this moment. And like I don't know if you remember from my last video, I did say stuff about how life has no pause button. This is what this feels like. It's just like I said, less than a month ago, I was in a car accident, and I haven't really had time to just sort of sit back and meditate on it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're in a car accident, it changes you. Like I drove that car safely for years, just to get into a car accident that like I wasn't even responsible for. And like it just feels like I just like I said, business as usual. Go to work, go to work, do your homework assignments, do all these other things. Just completely forget that you were just in a car accident. Well, did you get hurt? No, I didn't get hurt. But how am I going to get around? Like what am I going to do now? Can I get a break? Is it possible for me to just get a break? And in America, one of the things that you just aren't allowed to even ask for is a break. And I won't lie, it's really difficult for me to be pro American and love America and all this other stuff. And you know and it's really weird because like if you as much as even utter that kind of idea, utter that kind of phrase, the racists are so quick to say, well, if you don't like America, you gotta go ahead and move out the country, which I would love to do if I had the money to do it. But I don't have the money to do it because I can't get a job that will pay me that kind of money because I gotta go to school for that. No, you don't. You just need to get a trade. That qualifies as schooling. Man, if school wasn't so expensive. I realize now that when it comes to school and learning and things like that, um, I don't do well under pressure. Like a lot of like school, my school in particular, just school in general for me anyway. It just feels like what happens is that like it's like, hey, you got a week to learn this entire chapter of information, and you got to retain it for the test that you're gonna have at the end of the month. Because now one week, one chapter. You got 5 chapters, and in the 5th week you got an exam, and if you don't do well in the exam, you fail. It's like that's the pressure that is getting screwed into my head, and it's like I barely remember the 6 things that I was being told on this first page, but I have to remember a whole book of information in a month, which is fine. I'm not necessarily saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that it's challenging, especially when I have a lot of stuff that I have to think about right now. I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do as far as, my vehicle situation. I'm still, I just recently got a new job, so my hours are finally in the situation I need them to be in. But this was when I had a car, you know? So I was like, now it's even more challenging because I don't have a car and my job is in the next town over. I realized, like I said, what kind of work, what kind of learner I am, what kind of like I'm a maybe about a good 6 facts a day kind of guy. You tell me 6 facts and I'll remember those 6 facts. But if you tell me like 12 facts, you know what I'm saying? I'm only going to remember like maybe 5 or 6. Because that's all I can retain. That's all I can hold on to. So why don't you study then? Which is fine. I can study. That's no problem. But I still also have to prepare for work. I still also have to, kind of just sort of distract myself from all these other things. And not only that, but the car accident really did mess me up mentally. I'm starting to see that. It's really like making me a little bit more nervous about just basic things. I made the mistake of going out and driving one day and I almost died. At least it feels like I did. Yeah. Like I just really wish that like I just want to just I feel like I feel like I've at least allowed a break, you know, a break just for reasons of traumatic stuff, and also I realize now I'm just not good in school. I don't do well in school. Like if you give me a whole bunch of information and give me a chance to learn this stuff in my own time, I will learn this stuff in my own time. You know, I know the I know the sign languages. You know, I know how to sign language the alphabet. I know how to ask questions in Spanish. I know a little bit of Chinese. I can understand a little bit of Japanese and things like that. But like this is just with me learning this stuff on my own. I'm currently taking a business course right now, and it's such a challenge just to even. It's such a challenge. It's like it feels like if business just feels like it's a repetition of the same concept, just using different numbers. It feels like it's just basically saying, "Hey, focus on the money. How much money? X and Y amount of money. All right, gross, financial analysis, balance, budget, net pay, asset, liability, all these things, man. It's just like it's fine and all if I had my own time to learn this stuff, because I literally live right down the street from a library. If it was up to me and I didn't have to go to school, I would just go down to a library, take up a book, you know, or go on overdrive.com, sponsored by every library in America, by the way, and just take notes from any book that I did, because that's how I used to learn things, and it was easier to do. Now I just have to, like, now is this challenging stuff. No, I don't retain information that well. I realize that now. You got to, you retain through practice, and you know, the stuff that I practice is the stuff that I feel like I need to learn. And the more I think about it, the more I realize business isn't really my passion. It just happened to be one of the few degrees that was being offered at this school that I felt like would probably give me a job that would pay me the most money. And the more I do this stuff, it's just I feel dumber every time now. Oh man, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because because the racists are gonna pop up and be like, "Well, you're complaining. You're complaining and you're making excuses. This is your problem right here." And I'm gonna be like, "No, it's not complaining when I actually have an actual grievance." One thing I don't like about being one of the gripes that I have about being an American citizen is that, like, in America, we literally avoid all forms of accountability. We just lowball everything that could actually be an actual problem, and just try to like shrug it off as something that's minuscule and mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Like if a kid with no arms, couldn't play baseball because he doesn't have any arms, you'll have somebody in the crowd going, "Hey, didn't that guy win? Or didn't somebody win in the Olympics with having metal legs? Now you get out there and you catch those balls with what hands, man?" You know, you're making excuses, which is my least favorite phrase in the world. I am stressed out. I'm just saying, man. It's just like if it was up to me to be able to just do things on my own, I would. And it just doesn't feel, with school being the way that it is, it doesn't feel like that's the case. It feels like I have to do things on their time, and I just don't work that fast. I really hate the fact that I have to actually admit that I'm slow, but I'm slow. And I can't just bow out either. It's like I can't just say, "Oh, can I, is it cool? Can I just take a break?" Because if I take the break, it's just gonna be more school for later. And if I just quit entirely, I gotta pay. I have to pay back like a couple $1,000s. So it just feels like I'm stuck. It feels like I'm trapped, and I don't like feeling trapped, man. It just it's like there's too many challenges. There's too many stress-inducing challenges, and not enough pause buttons, not enough ways to relax, not enough ways to chill. And it's just like, the more I do these assignments, the dumber I feel, because I keep getting them wrong. It's like, I see I see the low grades, and it's like, what am I even doing here? But I can't leave. Yes, you can. You're just gonna have to owe a whole bunch of money, but you can definitely leave. These are the people who believe that death is a choice. You can always just kill yourself. It's like that's a choice. I always assumed that choices were something that you live with. My fingernail fell off completely now, by the way. It hurts like heck. Man, I'm just, I'm stressed out. I'm gonna try my best to feel a little bit better, but as a time being, I'm just I'm really just sort of trying to see if there is a positive here. I mean, there are positives. I mean, I don't want to end this on a sour note because I told myself I wouldn't do that anymore. I mean, I do have a roof over my head. You know, my roommates did say that they were going to help me out with my, you know, with getting a ride and everything like that. I just really don't like asking people for things. Um, and while I am doing terrible in school right now, I guess I can just bring it back up. You know, I'm probably not going to be the smartest person to graduate out of school, but at the very least, I'll graduate. You know, I'm never gonna flex about getting a degree though. I'm never gonna be like, I'm college educated, I have a degree now. I'm not gonna do that because there's no point. It's like I barely passed. I barely succeeded. That's not a win. I don't know where I'm going from here now. I just hope that it's in a better place. It'll get better. Love and peace. Y'all have a good one. And be safe out there. There's still a giant meteor headed to America, to the world.